This is Bruder Buskers Guide to the Galaxy, Part 2, Episode 2. And this is a reflection of the first episode. The bits you didn't see, the things I learned from busking. Because I want to try and give value to you if you're an artist or somebody considering going out busking, and I'm starting from the absolute grassroots basics. I've got an alot Uber FX portable small 100-watt PA. Packs a bit of a punch. It's got a really long battery life, but again, I've only used it a few times, so I'm not going to give it a proper review. I've got a mic, I've got a lead. Your setup might be completely different. But rather than going to sort of just the standard things about busking, because I still want to add value, I want to tell you this straight up. As an artist, or as somebody that's even considering to go busking, you're probably going to be somebody who thinks quite deeply, or is brave and courageous and bold and confident in their art. When you get out there, your ego will be broken down. I've never had anybody come up to, I've had a few insults in the past, but yesterday I had an 80-year-old guy walk right up to me, look me dead in the eye and say, "Why don't you just shut the fuck up?" And I was like, wow. Yeah, this is like ninja training for, firstly and foremost, to break down your ego, because people haven't come to see you. They're there for their own reasons. They're not come to see you. If you catch them and their attention with your performance, and they chuck a pound in your box or whatever, and they look at you and give you a smile, you've won. In fact, if they look at you, if they make eye contact with you, you've won them over. Because there's a lot of people that won't even look at you. They won't even break pattern, or they'll purposely avoid you. They'll cross the road. Yeah. There's also people that will stop, see you, nod at you, appreciate what you're doing. You as an artist, me as an artist, what I've learned is I'm there to better my craft in the most difficult environment. Maybe not the most difficult environment, we're not talking about fucking war-torn stuff, but to develop the craft, yeah, and to experience what it's like being out performing in the live. Because what happened yesterday, yeah, one guy told me to fuck off, another guy, the only guy that said anything, right, that was walking behind him, right, straight after, said to me, "I think you're really good, mate, don't listen to him." Yeah, so it was like the only time somebody spoke was when I got a really bad heckler. So it swings and roundabouts, and I didn't take him personally, you know what I mean? His music is not my music, he doesn't like it, he probably does think it's shit, and that's up to him, that's his opinion, and he's entitled to it if I'm out on the street performing. So you got to be thick-skinned enough to just accept that that sort of stuff is going to come when you're busking, and so is the positive stuff as well. It swings and roundabouts, you know what I mean? But my hometown was, it was like people were dead. It was like there were zombies walking up the road. A lot of them, the mass majority, and that's okay, but it was saddening. 2 of the £6 I earned yesterday. Last week I did 45 minutes in Coventry, I earned £26. The ratio to me is good. For a 45-minute set, I was quite happy with it. This week I earned £6 and I did 2 45-minute sets in 2 different locations, and it cost me £2 to park, so I made like £4. But 2 of those pounds came from these 2 homeless guys that were near me and that were enjoying it and listening and came up nodding, giving that love and appreciation. And what it made me realise is, first and foremost, how much how people can just ignore what's going on around them. I do it, I'm guilty of it sometimes. I'm busy, I'm on my way getting where I'm got to get to. I haven't got time to stop and treat and speak to every single person, yeah? But if you have got the time, yeah, stop and speak to a homeless person. Drop them a bit of change. It's winter. Don't fucking think about what they're going to spend it on and all this sort of shit. They're already destitute. Or donate to some sort of cause where they are making serious improvements and looking to genuinely change what's... I mean, fuck it, I could go on for ages. I think the downfall of... If you look at how long the Conservatives have been in power and how the rise of homelessness, and just tie them 2 things in. Just tie them 2 things in. That's one thing I learnt yesterday. It just made me see it. Just made me see it like really visible. It's like you enter their world because you're stood still and you're waiting for somebody to give you something. I don't need it. It'd be good and it helps. It makes a difference. I'm not saying I'm not fucking in my overdraft every other month, but busking for me is not based just solely on monetary in any way. It's based upon the experience, putting the graft in, learning, and just like sharing that, showing you, telling you, giving you the information of what I've learned. I could be rambling on too long. But when the homeless guy dug his hand in his pocket, pulled out about £2.20, some coppers and £2 coins, and he took one of them pounds in my box and looked at me and nodded. It nullified all the fucking ignorance of anybody else, and it shows that even somebody in the most worst situation can stay humble, because they have to be, obviously. But he didn't have to be humble to me in any way whatsoever. And it just goes to show you that just because somebody's on the street, it doesn't mean they haven't got intelligence, they haven't got emotional capability, they haven't got understanding, they haven't got respect, they haven't got love in their heart. It doesn't mean that. Just because they might have a dependency on drugs or alcohol or anything like that, it doesn't mean that they haven't got love in their heart. It doesn't mean that you can't stop and talk to them because they're on fucking smack and they're deluded by smack or crack or whatever they are sometimes. Because there's still a person in there. I didn't want this to become serious. I wanted to have a bit of a joke and some people to look at, but the reflection episodes, yeah, is this and these now, and I'm going to share it. And I think if I fucking learn something like that, where there's first and foremost there's masses of ignorance, secondly, to judge anybody on the street is your problem, not theirs. It's fucking you, mate. It's you're the problem, not them. Everyone's got problems, of course. To get there, they must have done something, or suffered something to be. I'd never personally quit like that because I've got enough people that love me, and I haven't had, anything too traumatic in my childhood. I've had some trauma, I've had some pain, I've had some suffering. I've hit the bottle, I've gone out and got mashed. Yeah, a number of occasions, but I've never become dependent on anything, as far as I know. I don't know. Like, is this for buskers? This is for anyone, really. It's not just for somebody who wants to busk. It's for anyone. I just want to share the experience, because it's a fucking really incredible sort of learning. When I was walking down in my hometown, I seen one woman from work. In fact, she was the other woman that come back and put £1 in the box. And that's the thing as well. When you only get £6, yeah, you know exactly where every little bit of that's come from because you remember the people. and there was a Turkish guy that was stood on the phone near where I was, just listening to me perform, and sort of on the phone as well. And then he come off the phone, he stopped, and I saw him, and then I caught him, and he was listening to the bars, and he was like, okay. And then he's come over and he's put the pan and he's nodding at me, and we had that connection. And that's worth more sometimes, I think, than fucking standing in front of thousands of people. I think that personal sort of connection is what I'm built for, and what actually, you know, I really enjoy doing. Even though it's brutal as well. Like when that guy said that to me, he did fucking etch away a bit, and I sort of had the mic and I didn't battle him, but I just turned the bars into me being confident in myself and not bothered about other people giving me shit. So there was something in there, but like I said again, it's good to break down the ego. And that's what busking will do. Busking will break down the ego, yeah? Don't be scared, don't be fearful. Get out there, do your thing, be yourself. Don't fucking worry about nobody else. You just go and do your thing, yeah? And if it will teach you anything, it will humble you. It will crush your ego, which you need, because that's like ninja training for any artist. It's just to, you know, I've had it good. I've performed in front of lots of people and fucking done gigs all over, everywhere, for years. To just get out on the street and have people walk past, it's good for your soul. Because the ones you catch when you've really let go. When you've really let go and you're in the zone. And that's what busking is going to give you. And this is Bruder Buskers' Guide to the Galaxy. I realise I'm rambling on long. Who's going to listen to this for that long? I don't know. But if you do, and you are, I'd say you're going to learn loads, you're going to earn a few quid, and you're going to perfect your craft. Episode 2, that's the lesson. Reflections. Bruder Buskers' Guide to the Galaxy.